Guyana's president re-elected to head party in history-making elections. And in sport, Jamaica Tallawah's captain upset with the lack of home support at the U.S. Stadium in their encounter with Guyana Amazon Warriors. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Monday, August 20. I'll be back with the details after the break.
It was hailed as a triumph. When the High Command was asked why they broke into the hospital, they had an explanation. They said it was a propaganda center for the insurgents. It was releasing casualty figures, and therefore it's legitimate to carry out a major war crime. Apparently pretty exotic weapons were used there, and there's evidence which international agencies don't want to look at.
It's going to be a Bermuda family affair when one of the island's most popular events returns for its third year. The annual Made in Bermuda Festival will be held over the Labor Day weekend at venues including White's Island, the Hamilton Princess, and the Royal Naval Dockyard, with a host of acts lined up to take part. Headlining will be Grammy Award-winning Monica Brown, whose lead keyboardist Denovan Tuzo is Bermudian.
Guyana's President David Granger has been re-elected leader of the People's National Congress, Reform, a leading member of the coalition government. And his Minister of Public Health, Volda Lawrence, has emerged as the first female chairperson of the party. Granger said today that now the internal elections are over, the campaign for local government elections begins. The highlight of the election was the contest for the position of chairman that had Lawrence coming up against Attorney General Basil Williams, who was hoping to be re-elected to the position, and Minister of State Joseph Harmon. Lawrence secured 346 votes, while Harmon got 287 and Williams secured 183 votes respectively for the second highest position within Guyana's oldest political party. Williams told reporters that Lawrence's election represents a new dimension to Guyana's politics. He says the party has spoken, a woman has won, and he will support that woman. The Attorney General added that it was a great win and they would move forward together. Trinidad and Tobago's Chief Justice Ivor Archie is being urged to consider resigning before a possible impeachment. The advice is coming from political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, days after the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago was granted permission to launch an investigation into allegations of misconduct against him. Last week, the Privy Council rejected Archie's appeal, confirming that the Law Association is entitled to investigate allegations of misconduct with a view either to assure the public after due examination, the association is satisfied the allegation have no merit, or to refer a complaint to the Prime Minister under Section 137 to treat with as he deems fit.
The Chief Justice may well want to consider resigning rather than have findings against him being made by the Law Associations Committee, and which findings would then be provided to the Prime Minister, who would, in those circumstances, have very little option but to trigger Section 137, and we would have an impeachment process.
In other news now, regional leaders have been paying tribute to former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan, who died over the weekend. Annan, a Nobel Peace Laureate and the first black African to serve in the top UN position, died peacefully on Saturday after a short illness. He was 80. Barbados's Prime Minister Mia Mottley said her country had lost a friend and the world had lost a skilled international statesman. She said Annan's legacy will forever live in the history of the world, and Barbados will always remember him for his dignity, his vision, and his support to national development efforts. Jamaica's Prime Minister described him as a great humanitarian, a global statesman, and a deeply committed internationalist who fought throughout his life for a fairer and more peaceful world. And Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said Annan had championed issues at the UN which were aligned with the priorities of the Twin Islands Republic, including peace and security, development, poverty reduction, combating climate change, preventing the spread of infectious diseases, combating terrorism, and the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women. The Bahamas government says it's moving to remove shanty towns where many Haitian migrants live from the landscape of the country. Prime Minister Dr. Herbert Minnis says it's a moral imperative for the country to remove the shanty towns as the island engages in immigration reform. Speaking at a church service to celebrate the ruling Free National Movement's first election victory in 1992, Minnis said he previously had discussions with the League of Haitian Pastors and told them that the aim is to improve the lives of all those affected by what the government is doing. He says it is unjust and unfair to allow the shanty towns to remain, especially given the social and other problems often found in these areas. An injunction granted by a Supreme Court judge earlier this month blocks the government from demolishing shanty towns in New Providence as it had planned to do after August 10. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Jamaica Talawas captain Andre Russell has lamented the lack of home advantage at the Central Broward Regional Park Stadium following his side's heavy defeat to Guyana Amazon Warriors in the Caribbean Premier League on Saturday night. Talawas played their first two home games at Sabina Park and host the other three at the venue located in southeastern Florida. However, Saturday's contest felt little like a home advantage for the Talawas as Amazon Warriors were greeted with vocal support from spectators, something that was not lost on an upset Russell. Russell said, quote, "I'm very unhappy at the moment. The guys fought hard on Saturday night. I think when you have a good thing going and you actually lose a game, sometimes these things happen in cricket where you just have to pick up yourself and try and get stronger and grow from strength to strength." End quote. Russell said the Talawas had found it difficult both when they bowled and batted and conceded it had impacted the team's motivation. Talawas take on reigning champions Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders they took them on Sunday night before facing Barbados Tridents next Wednesday. And ex-Barbados and West Indies fast bowler Fidel Edwards ensured fellow Barbadian Craig Brathwaite made an inauspicious debut for Nottinghamshire by removing him cheaply on the opening day of the Division 1 County Championship match yesterday. The 36-year-old Edwards grabbed 3 wickets to reduce Notts to 39 for 4 in reply to Hampshire's first innings knock of 277 at the Rose Bowl in Southampton. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.